Hey tea heads, this is Sam, this is Adrian, and I'm Don, and I am here to introduce a tea which I have not tasted before. From my trip to China, we're going to sample this for the first time. It looks a bit exotic, should we say?
I feel like it looks really nice.
It looks haunted.
It looks haunted? What do you mean it looks haunted?
What is this?
To me, it gives that vibe of, like, you know, farmer. Like, you know, I have some, you know, I just have some paper in my kitchen.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty much spot on with that. So we'll talk about this tea, and it's just an opportunity for you guys to taste this tea, and we can talk about China, talk about the China trip. You're just getting straight in there. Should I talk about the tea first before you just open it up? My gosh. All right, so this is Ganlu. Ganlu is sweet dew, right? Sweet dew, Sichuan green tea. And part of my plan for when I went to Sichuan is like to really understand sweet dew a little bit more. And so we went to see loads of different farmers. And just look at that. Just take a look at that. That looks rowdy.
Why are you smiling?
That looks rowdy.
Why is...
Okay,
yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah,
Why?
so let me tell you about this tea. So we went to lots of different places to see Ganlu being made, and they all have sort of variations on a theme and how they're making it. But there was this one guy who, I don't know how old he is, but I'm going to guess he's sort of in his 80s, right?
Oh my God.
And he is like staunch, you only make Ganlu one way, over wood-fired woks. And we arrived, he didn't know we were coming, and I was just sort of like talking to him about Ganlu. He was like, I'll make you some. And he took fresh leaf and he turned it into Ganlu in the process of about an hour. Now, bear in mind, it normally takes many like rounds. You've got to like heat it, roll it, let it rest, heat it. So this is basically not been done properly at all. Right?
As fresh as it
But
gets.
the guy was so like, he's such like an old school character that he was just like, just the vibe of the man. And like, you go into this place, right? You're gonna see it, but you go into this place and it was just like this sort of weird, sort of like, I want to say like a big shed, you know? And these old school woks, and around the other side of the wall was just like these holes where wood was being thrown in. And he had this guy that he was just shouting at, like, more wood! And the guy was just like launching wood in. And he just had this mentality of like, I make tea my own way. And I don't care about, like, you know, how I'm supposed to do it. And I'm going to make you up a Ganlu from fresh leaf to finished tea in an hour. So I thought we should try it. And he's wrapped it in this paper, which he uses for yellowing tea. So this is how he makes his yellow tea. He wraps it in this paper. So what you're seeing there is remnants of the old yellowing process of a previous batch of yellow teas. He just wrapped it up in this paper. There you go.
I do like this idea of like a person that's kind of stuck in its one way that goes like, no, I'm making tea my way. Is because I had like some of the best teas that I had was in Taiwan on top of a mountain again, like with this like old man that was just making his tea, and he was saying like, no, everybody's like producing, they're like experiment, they're doing this new style, but I'm just doing my own way. Yeah,
just doing your thing. Exactly. Yeah. So it's. He was just, you know, when somebody's of a certain age and they've made enough tea that they just go, I don't listen to anybody. Like, I just do my own thing.
I'm just gonna experiment that.
And it's not even like he's just like, nobody else would do that. Nobody else would gift a Ganlu tea that hadn't been made like properly. But he was just like, no, I'm cool. I'm going to do that. Look at that.
Looks like a scroll.
Yeah. Now be careful. There's wind here. I don't want it to blow everywhere. I'm a bit concerned about this focus. Is that focusing on our face? One second.
It looks like it is.
1 second.
Okay, come back. Here. I'm doing the reveal.
Okay.
I'm doing the reveal. The reason I'm doing the reveal, the reason I'm like already saying, oh my God, is because...
Check that out.
This doesn't look like your conventional green tea. This looks like it was made by someone that you just told me the story. It doesn't give nothing about... Wow, leave it.
Sorry.
It doesn't give, like, you know what? I've had enough of conventional tea. I'm just gonna go my own way. I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna do anything that I think it will break the best tea.
To be fair
So
to
we'll
him,
see.
like I don't think that this is how he sells his tea normally. It was just that a guest arrived and he thought, I'm going to make it for you.
Just made, yeah.
Wow.
And it smells amazing. Smells like milk chocolate.
Do you think that this tea will have that cozy, unfinished tea sensation?
I have no. What do you mean by that? Cozy, unfinished tea sensation.
You know, it's like very mellow, because I did my own tea that
right.
one as well, and it just went through like a small, like a withering phase. Then we fried it in a wok for like 10 minutes to just get moisture out as well, and it went to one firing process. That's it.
No, I think it will. I think it will taste more finished than that.
Okay.
But I think that it's gonna have some differences to what normal. Look, usually Ganlu doesn't look like that, right? First of all, there's a lot of yellow bits. Can you see the yellow?
Yeah.
So this has yellowed a bit because it was put in here essentially not dry, right?
So it was still wet, so it's going
kind
through a
of
yellowing
a bit.
process.
So it's gone through a yellowing process. So we've kind of got a semi-yellowed sweet dew which has been wok-fired, like over high heat, so higher than normal heat, probably, rolled just a couple of times, and it's probably going to have more of an intense, like you're going to taste the roast in it a little bit more, because I think it was just done super fast at such a high heat. But the pickings were immaculate. I remember seeing the pickings and thinking, I can't believe you're using your pickings to make a tea for me.
Just to show you.
Just because, and then he wrote me like a little, like, you know, a whole thing, and you know, it was so sweet. It was such a charming moment. I loved it, and I thought, I've got to like film me tasting this tea.
Do you feel like it was like, it's more like an ego thing? It's like, oh, I'm gonna show, because you come there, you know, as a tea buyer, and he goes like, no, I'll show you what I can do. It's kind of like that, or was it more like, hey, here you go, I'll do this for
Look,
you as
there
a
was
gift.
definitely a bit of showmanship, right? I'm a master tea maker.
Yeah.
You're the Lawai. You're the foreigner who's come here.
Ooh, is that what they call it?
To like, yeah, they call me the foreigner.
Lao.
You know, to come and film stuff, and he's just like, all right, let me show you how I make Ganlu, which is, and I saw so many producers making Ganlu, and his was the most charming just because it was just so, you know, it was so like old school, I don't care, gangster style, you know. He was just like, and you know, some of the best teas I've ever had have come from that kind of experience. Just some farmer handing you some package and just going, here, drink this. And just be going, whoa, what is this? Have a sniff. Let's see what it's like. It's definitely going to be not your standard Ganlu, that's for sure.
It doesn't smell like sweet dew, because I don't like sweet dew. It smells like something I would like.
Well, I think you need to taste more sweet dew.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
No, sweet dew to me is very
Oh my.
soft. It's very soft, very sweet,
Yeah.
very like spring water.
Oh
it's nice.
my.
It's delicate. It has
It's sweet
everything it
dew,
needs. Yeah, I can definitely see it for what it is. But me personally,
Wow.
I don't go for that type of tea. I want something that has a little bit more that I can call. Go for it.
So much toast and popcorn again. With the
Slightly burnt popcorn.
Yes.
Slightly burnt popcorn.
Slightly burnt popcorn.
Toast. He's definitely toasted this. Like,
Yeah.
he's gone high. He's like, if I'm going to turn fresh leaf into finished tea in less than an hour, that wok is going to have to be hot. The guy was like, he was shouting at the other guy, saying like, more wood, and you see the other guy's hands. Like, I will show you a picture later of the other guy's hands. I don't have it with me. Insane. Insane.
I love
Like
that.
black. Like from years of like was
God.
holding like scorching wood. It's like it was the most intense thing.
No.
It smells really, really toasty.
Yes.
But
yeah.
it still has that green tea smell to it.
I don't get that. Really.
No. Imagine, like, let's think about how Dragonel, how Longjing Supreme is, right? And that toasty note in it, it still has it. So it still has that
Let's see what it's like.
that green.
Okay, we're gonna brew it up Gong Fu style, even though in Sichuan they would never brew it up this way. Oh my gosh. Funky. I'm not going to say what it smells of because I don't want to put you off, but it's got a funk to it.
We need a teapot.
I like.
You're going to have to make your own origami from the leaves.
I mean, I like it. It smells like.
You like the funk.
I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say.
Oh,
I don't
geez,
see. The,
a
I
teapot.
don't see the. I don't see the funk. I see more. It goes in that courgette to me. It's like fresh
Yeah.
courgettes.
No, but like burnt courgettes. It's very.
Burnt.
Yeah, it smells like burnt courgettes.
Yeah. Yeah. It has the. It has the toasty. It has the toast. Still
Hey.
has like that popcorn toasty feel.
It's definitely got that umami zucchini courgette thing,
It
right?
reminds me a bit like
Fleshy.
genmaicha.
But it's got the pyrazines. You can smell that slightly sort of charcoal-y
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
I pick a little bit of like singed hair,
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
and I hate that smell, that singed hair
like,
smell.
you're
But
like-
here it's like in the background. I can like live with it.
You're at a campfire and you get.
Did I ruin it for you, Sam?
Let's just brew it out.
Did I ruin the singed?
Let's forget about the smell.
Did the singed hair?
Oh jeez, that's spot on. But with toast.
Singed hair on toast. All right, let's see.
It works.
Let's see what it's like. It's definitely got its own vibe. And like, let's just say there was no expectation that he didn't present it as like this is going to be some fantastic tea. It was more like, look, I made you tea from scratch to like, and it probably is more reminiscent of what tea probably tasted like ages ago, right?
Before
Yes.
they perfected
When they
all
were
the
just
thing.
like, what do we do? Just well, like hit it let's just fry it
Yes.
in a wok, and see.
So grateful to be able to taste.
Yeah, exactly. It's got
the
like it's
old-fashioned-
so cool to have this old school vibe. Now
It's-
look at that. Look at that is also a sign that
Yeah.
this is not a highly, crafted tea.
Oh.
You want to focus? Thank you. Super cloudy.
Wow.
Super. Yeah, I mean you can hardly shine a light through it. It's like a fog in there,
Wow.
right? That is super cloudy. Loads of like little bits.
Yeah,
right.
like Yokura.
It is definitely got the vibe of this leaf was treated a bit roughly. Let's put it that way. So in terms of cloudiness in tea like this, sometimes you want it if it's got a lot of hairs in it. You want that cloudiness, but you want it to still have a sort of a shimmery nature to it. This looks like cloudy as if the leaves were like beaten up a little bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just been smashed around a bit, and it was. I mean, it was quite an exercise for the guy. He was like smashing it up and toasting it really quickly.
No one got hurt from a little bit of abuse, and it builds character. So let's see how it
Says the abuser.
let's see how.
Nobody got
how
hurt from a little bit of abuse.
I'm
Is the line that we don't want people to.
No, I'm not saying.
Cheers.
I'm saying it in a
Happy
different
birthday,
way.
Sam.
Happy birthday,
Thank
Sam.
you.
Yeah, Sam's birthday.
Sam's birthday.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
First cup of the day.
Doesn't taste abused.
Yeah, it tastes clear.
Tastes
I
much
was
cleaner than you'd have thought, right?
I was expecting like a cake.
That's amazing.
It has a real purity to it, actually, surprisingly.
It really does. Very different to the smell.
Very different. No singed hair here. Oh,
No.
sweet finish.
Not even that toasty. And
Exactly. Not even that toasty. Isn't that amazing?
like fresh courgettes, vegetal.
Ooh.
Will it last?
Oh, it will
Or
last.
is that the first
I
bit?
think it will last. I think that the smell that we were getting was literally just because it was baked so hard. On the outside, it had that singe. But now, once you've rinsed it, wait, did I brew it or did I just? I rinsed it. Did I rinse it?
You gave.
I did. Yeah, I did. The singed hair came after the rinse. Yeah. Yeah, I think the rinse took away a lot of it, and now it's got a very nice little note to it.
Yeah, the smell is still a bit off-putting.
Moving it away from the camera and putting it back in the
I
camera.
can't see anything.
Charcoal-y.
There's too much sun on my face.
Yeah.
charcoal
good.
is,
We're good.
it's
We're
still
good.
in the smell a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
So what do you want from a ganlu? That's the question. And I definitely want a bit of a toasty note. This is something that I've learnt from experiencing ganlu in Sichuan, is that just like so many teas out there, the majority of the teas that are being produced for them to taste very clean and very pure and very light and not, potentially push any buttons the wrong way, but just like Adrian says, that actually is a negative, right? Because it ends up just becoming like, okay. Especially when you're paying quite a lot of money, and sweet dew is
It's
an expensive tea,
right?
So, and the reason why it's expensive is because it still goes a lot through a lot of processing, and the picking is the first picking of the year. So if you then drink the second pickings of the year, that's not called sweet dew. That's called Maofeng.
Okay.
So it's just Maofeng is just like everything else in that spring. First pickings of the year are reserved for ganlu. It's a very fine picking, as you can see, right? It's like, very, very fine.
Beautiful
It's a
picking.
bud and then one leaf. And the bud should always be bigger than the leaf. That's the rule with like the super top end ganlu.
Whoa!
Oh my God, they
Never
go.
knew that.
Yeah, see, these are the little trinkets of information that you get when you travel to source.
Okay, why is that?
It just means that it's in terms of a flavor profile, it's got more of a bud heavy note to it, right? And so oftentimes for most of the teas it's produced for a particular look, very furry, very hairy, beautiful, taste in terms of a sweetness and a dewiness, right? But actually when you taste the old school stuff, the stuff made by the masters that costs usually about 5 times more, or even more, 10 times more,
Jeez.
it has much more of a Longjing taste to it.
That's what I want. So this is what I feel about this one. Second brew, great, even better than the second, than the first one. So I'm like,
Getting
okay,
that nuttiness, getting the
Yes.
getting the chestnut.
I want
chestnut.
this from a green tea. This is exactly what I want. We should get this in, but just like that.
Make me a whole batch,
Yeah, let's see.
master maker.
Yeah, why? Could you just be like, actually, can I just get a whole batch of that?
Smash it up, bruise it up, make it in an hour, sell it to us.
Abuse it. He goes like, it doesn't taste abused.
It doesn't taste abused. Doesn't taste abused.
It tastes great.
Yeah.
It actually has a Japanese green tea taste, just almost sencha, roasted sencha taste to
Does
it.
it though?
And at the end, it's still got a little orchid note popping out
Yeah.
in the finish. So when I'm looking for a ganlu now, I've tasted so many ganlus, and that's the joy of when you travel. It's like you concentrate yourself on one type of tea in one area,
Right.
and you just taste so many different variations of it. You start to build up a sort of a mind map or a flavor map of the different styles and what you're looking for.
Was this the purpose of this trip, to kind of focus on? Are you thinking of doing more trips like this that are more like focus on just one thing?
Well, that's generally what I do. When I go to Yunnan, I'm focusing on a type of pu'er, or when I go
Right.
to Guangzhou, I do like a whole thing about dansong or tieguanyin or whatever. So this trip was a lot to do with Sichuan green teas, although I did other stuff as well. But it's mostly Sichuan green teas and understanding why I have a particular feeling about Sichuan green teas, which is similar to you, in that I think that they are really lovely, but they tend to be expensive for the impact that they give you. And the impact that they give you tends to be quite green and quite raw.
Exactly.
And my suspicion was that that's not tradition. And that was confirmed when I went there. It was confirmed heavily.
And the most beautiful way. I can't wait. Like I want to see the.
And it's.
I want to see the video. You say you filmed it, right?
I filmed, yeah. So
With
like
the whole masters.
understanding
I like
the
that.
difference between old school and new school in these teas, and Sichuan old school teas are very different from what we get on the market in terms of new school teas.
Yeah.
But trying to find the old school is like is like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Right.
And when you find it, the price is so ridiculous that you're like, well, what can I do? I can't afford that. I mean, we're talking the difference between, you know, it's around 10 times the price. And you know how expensive Sweet Jew now is already.
Yeah, it's
10 times the price.
Crazy.
That's nah.
Right?
Crazy.
Couldn't do it.
So you can't do it. And the reason is because of the fact that it is like only a very few people are making tea in that way. So they're like, you want me to, like, think about it. If I'm gonna do things the new way, I spend like half the time. I can use machines. Like I can get 10 times the yield, you know, out of the same leaves, or at least I can get 10 times the yield out of the same amount of time, you know. So it's like 10 times the price. Sorry, you know. You're like, oh,
It makes sense.
you know.
Wow.
That's the thing. It's a bit sad that things are running this way, but that's the world of business, you know, that we're all in.
Well, I mean, you know, and you know, it's always one of those things when you travel to source and you're watching people make the tea, you appreciate the price much more.
Yeah.
Right? When you're seeing somebody like spending 20 minutes just constantly, you know, moving leaves on a hot wok, right?
Yeah.
And they're sweating
Yeah.
and they're doing this, right?
The sweat's going in the wok.
And that's exactly. And that's just one little section of the processing. Forget about the garden management, like the age of the plants, the picking, the transporting of the leaves, the withering. Then they do that 3 times. They have to do that and roll it. Like you just look at it and you go, if you actually time, this is what I was sort of doing. I was trying to time how many person hours will I spend from fresh leaf to finished, from every single leaf here, like how many person hours does it take? And then if you multiply that by like a wage that you would be prepared to pay for yourself, it's like totally justified the price, right?
Yeah. And adding on the plant hours, how long it takes for the plant to grow. That's amazing. And actually, it made me think of working at the bar. We'd sometimes, when customers were done with their Gong Fu sessions, we'd sometimes carry on brewing their tea just to make the most out of the expensive leaves.
That's the other thing that I feel, you know, a bit bad about when I'm doing my sampling, because I'm literally just sampling and then chucking.
Oh,
You can't.
You know, because I can't do anything else. But when I was there, you just see all of the work that goes into it, and I felt a bit like, oh my gosh, you know. And you see the farmers, they'll sit with those leaves for like 3 hours, 4 hours. They're not, you know, and it's their leaves. They're surrounded by them, but they treat them with more reverence, I think. It's difficult.
I've seen that. Yes, in again in Taiwan when we were at this Airbnb that we paid to actually pluck some for an hour in the field. And just being 1 hour in that field and like doing tea, it seems fun, but after 1 hour it kind of gets like, ooh, you saying I need to do this for 8 hours? For how much? Oh my God.
Well, if you think about it,
right,
like,
after that.
So let's just take an example of a picker, right? A picker going out picking ganlu will pick probably somewhere in the region of the equivalent of making maybe about 300 grams of dry tea, like, you know, because it's about 5 times shrinkage, right? So they might be able to pick 1.5 kilos. It's unlikely. They're probably going to pick about 1 kilo of tea, right? So they'll probably make about 250 grams of tea out of that. So, and that's for a full day, right?
So that's one
So
guy.
you imagine that one person, right, getting paid like minimum wage. Okay, minimum wage in China is lower, right? But still, imagine it, right? How much are you paying for 250 grams just in terms of picking, right? If that was in the UK, that would be what? That would be 12 pounds. That would be like, that would be 100 pounds for 250 grams of tea just for the picking.
wow,
Just for the picking.
wow, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So then add all the other labor that goes in, the masters, and so suddenly you realize, wait, the tea's not expensive. It feels expensive,
Yes.
but actually the tea's not expensive.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
That is insane.
And it really comes home to you when you do it, when you start picking. And
Yeah.
you're like, after like 45 minutes, you're like, whoa, my back's hurting.
It's like
And I've only got like a
7 more
handful
hours.
of leaves like
Wow.
this,
And you go like 7 more hours of this. Okay, I can
Yeah.
do it, but like then every day and again and again and again.
Great tea. I love it.
Yeah.
That little roast is still there. It's
Yeah.
sweet.
There's edamame, lots of edamame.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's lovely tea. A little bit raw in the end.
It's still going though. Like this is like the 4th,
Oh
and it's still very strong.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
strong.
Like my
This
question
is-
was answered. Will it still go
Oh, this will
after
go.
the 2nd brew? That was the 4th, 5th brew.
This will go.
Let's go.
The empty cup smell reminds me of a strong Ethiopian coffee. For some reason, the way they brew it in Ethiopia, they're
Over the
really
roasting.
strong. Yeah. And there's something called coffee and Hawaiiage, which is coffee with ginger.
Oh,
Smells like ginger powder. Weird.
Yeah. I still get a little bit of cocoa as well in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still got a little burnt note, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A little
smells like
singe note.
Oh.
It's a great tea. We should do a little giveaway. I'll give away a little bit, like a 10 grammer or 15 grams of this tea.
okay. You should give it.
You got to think of like a question for everybody to answer out there,
Okay, Sam. You feel that you
or
say
like
the question.
something that they've got to write, and then one of you can pick. I don't want to pick the winner. You pick the
Yeah.
winner. Like a name for the tea could do that. A name for your tea pet.
And yeah. Yeah, a name for this tea pet.
I'm crying out loud. A name for the tea pet.
Tea pet or tea? You can choose. I don't
A
care.
name for this tea pet.
That's a challenge. That reminds me of when I was
Okay,
at
name for
school
a
and they'd give you a detention. Like that's the things that you have to write 1,000 words about the inside of a ping pong ball.
Oh my God!
That would
was
be
that
like
a thing?
yeah. That would when I
What?
was at school. It's like write 1,000 words essay about the inside of a ping pong ball.
What school did you go to?
I like
a
that.
school that teaches creativity. Clearly, it's like
Oh.
what can I say about the inside of that one? Stop. Hold on. Take a look at this. Look at that.
Now it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's clear. All that thing washed away, and
Oh.
it's probably still gonna taste great. That's good.
This is why Ganlu, like the first pickings, it is essentially the first pluck, right? It's just got all of the winter dormancy in it. It's very rich. And yeah, another reason why it's like you can't even all that labor. It's only one time a year, right? You only do that one time a year. So you got to, and then think about this, right? This is the other thing I was thinking about. The farmers, because they only harvest in the spring, they've got to make enough money in the spring to last them
The whole
That's
year.
crazy.
the whole year.
Because that's the whole.
I mean, they
idea.
do other stuff like
Sure.
they have like homestays. They have other, essentially, but that's essentially their role.
Yeah.
And because it happens only once a year, they can't do it all themselves. So they have to hire in labor.
Oh, wow.
So there's more cost as well. So they're having to spend more money to get that short period of time. So every time when you add it all up, you just go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's not expensive, this tea at all. Even the expensive stuff, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not that expensive.
So I'd like to ask you, because you shot a video of in the fields with snow everywhere. Was everyone quite depressed then?
Yeah, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
If you know that this is your time to make money and then it
so-
snows.
It was like the field. It was just a small Instagram
so
story,
sad.
but
It's-
they were like snow. Like everything was frostbite.
Luckily it snowed, for most people it snowed just before they were picking.
Okay.
Because if it had snowed maybe a week or two later, it would have been a major problem.
Yeah.
Because you'd have frozen leaves, right?
Yes. Okay.
But because it snowed like a week before, like they were like, it's okay. In fact, it's kind of good because like it gets rid of a lot of the pests.
Yes.
You know.
And the plant suffers a bit more.
Yeah, so there's it's all about timing.
So
But then there were
both
some
ways,
places like in in Zhejiang for Longjing where it was snowing at the time of picking, and that's just like terrible.
It ruined it.
Yeah, which is why be prepared for more expensive Longjing prices this year.
This brew was again really good. Like, okay, this tea shows that it can go. This was quite clear.
Yeah,
It's clear. It's nice. It goes. I can't
It's a
believe
great
a
tea.
green tea can be brewed 6 times and still be so nice. That's
Quality
Yeah.
pickings, quality
That's
pickings,
right.
good tea.
it's the picking, man.
So yeah, we'll
Right.
we'll do a bit of a giveaway. You can somebody can try them.
Lucky guy. I should make an account and give my own. Give the prize to myself.
No, Sam picks the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great pickings, and they, you know, they clearly very passionate about their tea. Amazing that the generosity is amazing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I just rock up there, nobody knows who I am,
Amazing.
and they're like, here, this is a freshly picked, like, because that I don't know how much that is. It's about what, 100 grams of tea.
yeah.
That's a whole day's pickings, or half a day's
Wow.
pickings for
That's
somebody,
incredible.
And they were just like, we'll make this for you.
Wanna
Shocking.
Impress.
It really is shocking, the generosity of it all. One more infusion of this.
Wow.
Any other questions about China? There's plenty to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, and I'm interested in when you're drinking in tea houses in China, are they fussed about the tasting notes, or do they care more about the energy? What's it like? What's the discussion like in tea houses?
Question.
A bit of everything.
Okay.
They talk about the looks of the leaves. They'll talk about brewing. They'll talk about taste. They'll talk about aroma. They'll talk about body sensation.
All right.
I don't think that they don't go into as much detail of like what tasting note do you get. It's more like, oh, this has the requisite, like for a ganlu, it would be, does it have chestnut and does it have orchid flower? Yes, it does. Good, tick. It's more about checking it off rather than going, oh, this reminds me of singed hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's more of like a quality control situation where they're just trying to work out, does it meet the right requirements?
Yeah.
There were some amazing teas I tasted over there, but they were very, 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 very. You realize how poor you are
When you say.
when you travel. This is the thing that I think a lot of people who travel to Origin will be surprised about, is that you think if you go to Origin,
I'll get it more cheap.
you're going to get like good deals. It's like you're at Origin. In fact, in my experience, the prices suddenly become even more expensive than you, because if you're searching out for these really high-end teas, they're still few and far between. Even amongst all of that volume you've got,
Right.
it's hard to get.
Basically, in an indirect way, that's what the master on top of the mountain in Taiwan said to us as well when we said, oh, can we buy a little bit from you? He only spoke to Penny because he was only speaking Chinese. He just basically said, why do they want to buy my stuff? Why do they want to buy my tea? But not in the sense that, oh, he's modest. He was modest, he was trying to be modest, but in the sense of like, they can't afford it. Like, this is probably gonna be like
I know.
crazy expensive because they don't understand. I only have just a little bit and I'm making this tea because it's high end tea.
The prices are crazy, and a lot of times they don't want to sell it, right?
Yeah,
They
this
just
is
go,
like,
"No,
no, sorry,
it's mine."
We don't even,
Sorry.
we don't even want to sell it because,
But then you get you get all these different levels, and then you get the companies that are just knocking out a lot of tea,
Yeah.
and it's good tea, but it's not great.
And how do you feel being in the fields?
I love it. I love being amongst the plants.
Yeah.
I was never really like a big plant person, but that put me in a tea field,
Yeah.
and I can just sit there and learn. Like, it's amazing how much you learn about like looking at the trunks and how
Yeah.
they were saying, oh, that's an old cultivar and that's like a not old cultivar, and I'm like, how are you figuring this out? And they're like showing me these intricate little details of like,
nice.
that makes that old, this is seed, that's cutting, this is and they're sort of showing.
Interesting.
When you're there, you see it, when you can see it firsthand.
nice.
But there were some old tea trees as well there in Sichuan, like 1,000-year-old like small bush trees. They were crazy.
Which they were using?
No, but there was some that were like many 100 years old that they were using
They were using hundreds of years old to make green tea.
to make green tea.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine how expensive that is?
I mean,
Wow.
okay.
I can't remember the price, but there was one green tea that I tried, Oh, I wish I could remember the price. It was something insane. I think it was like about 100. I'm going to get it wrong, but it was something in the region of $100,000 a kilo.
$100,000 a kilo. Are you kidding me?
I'll put the right figure
I wonder
around because
who
it is.
buys it.
Yeah, exactly. That's there are people with some serious
Well,
reserves,
like
money reserves.
well, like the emperor.
I love that.
Insane.
I'll put the right amount below. It might have been 50,000 or.
It could actually be more. I think I'm being conservative, but anyway, it was around that. Yeah,
That's
Jeez.
insanity.
insane,
That's
right?
insanity.
So I think it worked out to be something like $100 a gram or something.
But at that point,
I might be wrong.
it's not exactly worth that as like how good it is quality. It's basically really good quality, but it's at that point it's just
I tasted something of that echelon, and it was
it
one
is
of the it was
amazing.
one of the best teas I've ever tasted in terms of green tea.
But you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this is $100 a
No,
gram. It's
no.
something like at that point it's just ridiculous.
But if
it
you're a
is amazing.
billionaire, then what's $100 per gram?
Yeah, that's
Right?
true. That's
So,
true. So
I don't
there are
know.
people out there that
There are
drink
people out there, yeah.
stuff that we will never get to try, fortunately.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, there you go. You got to
Yeah,
try
that's-
something else.
Yeah.
Really good.
Great tea. We'll give some
Yeah.
away,
Nice.
and you can try it. Whoever is lucky enough to win and try some of this old school fire baked crazy tea.
We'll
But
give
it's a lesson that you can make tea from fresh to complete
in 1 hour.
in less
that's
than an
insane.
hour, and in the right hands they can do some amazing things.
Wrap it up. Move on to the next.
Yeah, let's have some more tea. Let's make another video.
Yeah, we're all wired now. Anyway, that's it, tea heads. Let me know if you have any questions about traveling to China and questions about sourcing. Maybe I'll do a whole other video about it at another time. But yeah, take care. Keep drinking the good stuff. Spread the word, because nobody out there deserves tea which is less than
Oh.
that kind of quality. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.